Hey y'all, it's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we have a special guest in the building. My friend, the iconic Alexander Rogers, that man from BravoCon, is here to join us today and spill some tea and chat. Welcome, Alex. How are you doing?
I am good. I forgot that is where we met. We met at BravoCon when I had to ask those heifers some questions that required accountability for answers. So you saw why Mia dodged my question. I asked her, will you be able to keep your timeline of events straight this season? And she was not.
Ooh, you had the building on the floor. I was screaming. Y'all don't understand the energy when Alex got up to that mic and asked that infamous question that we've seen replayed over and over again on Beverly Hills. Everybody was shouting. I mean, I couldn't breathe. Like, just iconic.
I'm very grateful for that moment. I have to say, I'm glad I asked Chris, okay, what should I say? Because what I was going to say, I can't remember what it was now, but he was like, that's too harsh. That's too harsh. Let's dial it down just a little bit. Fun shade. And that was.
Oh, it was. It was fun, iconic, and juicy. But I just want to say thank you so much for joining in. And I want to start it off with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We are 2 episodes in. We see that Shamea is the anchor. She's got it going on. What are your thoughts on Miss Shamea Morton?
I pray that her marriage is as beautiful as it looks. Yes. Because I just want her to be happy. And that is just out of I don't want the reality curse to hit her. And maybe it was smart for her to, let the marriage settle.
Yes.
Let it cook. Let it be firm and solid. Let the relationship be able to take a little needling on TV before you go putting it in front of everybody. Get it strong first. So I'm happy for her. I am enjoying her. Now, I have to also be honest. I just want to see her take out Candi's pieces that she has in her head. The freezer curls. The white, because she just has Candi's old hair pieces, and I want her to take them out and then go to the mirror and find a look that is her own, so that you're not just using, again, Candi's old pieces that she would pull for the escape, because that's what you're looking like. You're looking like leftovers.
Oh, not leftovers.
It's leftover style. Like, I look at her pictures and I'm like, this is what Kandi would wear. I know that's your best friend. I know she helped style you because hating ass Portia did. And that's why you look a little hard and a little performery when you're supposed to look like a housewife. Elegant, graceful. Not like you're about to get on stage and bust that choreography. Them choreography boots and that jacket.
Well, I agree. I think that Shamea's style is very dated. She's still in like 2008, 2009. And it's giving very much Kandi season 2 with that Rooster 27 piece.
Oh, yeah.
Very much that. But beautiful family. I think that Shamea is going to bring it. And I want to say that whole thing with Portia showing up late. And then we see that Portia did that interview recently where she just said that they're not as close as they used to be. What do you think about that?
I'm not surprised, because when I looked at the house that we'll never get to see, the address where love doesn't reside anymore, I saw, girl, you're trying. I'm going to let you finish. You can leave that in. I looked at Portia's house. Shamea got a balcony. Portia has a balcony. Shamea got a pool. It gave a little bit of competition. And I could definitely see Portia being truly deflated that, you trying to keep up with your friend, have the same life as your friend, and you've gone back to square one embarrassingly. I would be mortified.
And to say that you've gone back to square one, the embarrassment that your husband was a fraud and a con man.
And that you weren't smart enough as a wealthy woman and a mother to investigate this guy. Like, you had something to lose and you lost it. You lost years on Housewives. And now you came back to the show that the audience hasn't. And let's talk about that. It was cute to be a 20-something-year-old Jessica Simpson fool. But now you just an old fool. A bill that nobody want to pay.
It's hard for me to find sympathy because everybody was telling you the red flags were there. And I don't understand how you could see a man who's been married 4 times and you think that he's husband material. How do you think that that's a good man for you? He hasn't been able to get it right 4 times.
No, that's husband material. It depends on what you want. If you want to get your ass down that aisle, that's husband material. Also, that's a man that will try it until he get it right. So he gonna leave married to somebody. So again, you might win. I can forgive that. I can be like, you know what, he done married all this time. I could see like, okay, why have you messed it up, especially when they that old? Because your first 2, if it's been 50 since your first 2 or 20 years since your first 2, they don't count. You wasn't even that same. You can't even remember their middle name. You weren't even the same. You ain't even the same person no more.
Listen, when it comes to this whole Porsha divorce storyline, in the words that you always say, I don't have an F to give. Okay, that's just where I'm at with it. Now, moving on to Porsha and Drew, what do you think about all this stuff about her being mad at Drew wanting to film with Dennis in the studio?
I think that Drew is a misguided writer. She's always trying to cook up some type of scheme. That's why she thought she was an actress. No, honey, you with your inventive ass, you are a writer. We just need to get you to put your lies down on paper to turn them into the stories that they could actually be. That's so I'm not. Now Porsha, is she wrong for filming with Dennis? Yes, but are we expecting Drew to be right? And let's not forget, Porsha is a vicious, nasty gutter snipe right up out the hood. A blue-blooded gutter snipe who will beat your ass as soon as look at you.
Alex.
She tried to beat her daughter's grandmother with a light pole. Let's not, Pepperidge Farm remembers. She was better up with them lights from the set and was trying to end that woman. So I feel like if something nasty comes Porsha's way, so be it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I have the same thoughts as you because I said, listen, we did not forget that. We did not forget how you acted on that spinoff show. So I think that I've been trying to, wipe the slate clean, but it's just hard. It's just that we've never gotten, I guess, an explanation about what happened with her and Simon, how they got together. There's no accountability about her trying to fight the grandmother, her daughter's grandmother, Dennis's mother. It's just hard for me to find some empathy when you're going through all this, when you've done so much.
And this is why I think there's so many conversations about the love and hip hopification of Housewives of Atlanta. And I feel that it's love and hip hop because you got the same heifers doing the same things 10 years later. The fact that Phaedra and Porsha, you both back on the show, you both got babies in tow, and you both single 10 years later. I'm not saying having a man is the end all be all of life. Please do not get me confused. Men ain't shit and we know it. However, when you choose to make your career being on a show or shows plural, talking to you, Phaedra Braxton Parks, went on the Braxton, like you changed your last name. I digress. When you go on these shows and you pick at other people's relationships and make your career commenting on other people's relationships and you on the show, I'm going to need to see your shit too. You don't get to come on and poke when you ain't got nothing to show. We ain't got no problem with you being single. Stop commenting on other people's relationships when you ain't got nothing going on. Kenya Denise Moore. You want to talk about this woman who gets $1,400 to Snapchat her pussy and you can't give your shit away for free. You can't give it away. You be standing in the supermarket offering free samples of pussy. People walking by like, so you don't have any room to talk. You don't got room to talk about a woman that can charge for it when you can't give it away.
Alex, you are too much. But no, in all seriousness though, I am looking forward to this whole thing play out with Britt, Edie, and Kenya. I'm not gonna hold you. I feel like Britt came into this season gunning for Kenya, in my humble opinion, because that first episode, for her to make a big deal about the wedding band comment, that wasn't anything shady, in my opinion.
Now I could see. I can see how Britt thought Kenya was coming for her and her marriage. One, look at that husband. So she's always on guard with a husband like that. When your husband says allegedly to your pregnancy, yeah, I'd be sensitive about my merge too. So there's that where look at what she married to. I'd be real sensitive coming from my lavenders. But I felt Kenya was coming for the ring, and Kenya has a habit of coming for younger women. She did it with Portia, and you're doing it. Also, she just has a habit of coming for everybody. So I could also see her being like, I've watched it. We're going to nip this right here, right now. Don't think you're going to bother with me.
Okay, yes, I agree with that. But I still feel like that comment wasn't horrible. Because I feel like, as a woman, if I see another woman with just an engagement ring, I'm going to assume that she's just engaged, because generally, like the women I know who are married, they wear both their engagement ring and their wedding band. So if I don't see you with a wedding band on, I'm going to assume that you're just engaged. I thought it was an innocent question. I mean, maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm trying to give Kenya the benefit of the doubt, but I truly did not believe that she was being shady. I thought that Britt was being shady when she said, oh, speaking of divorces, the 5 of you are all getting divorced, like you, Drew, Kelly. Like it was almost like a dig that they were all getting divorced and she's the only one married.
Then you shouldn't bring up wedding rings. No. It is hard for me. You're right. Kenya could have been innocent.
Yes.
But because of Kenya's track record, I could see why you like, okay, Heifer, what you trying to start? What's this observation about? Because you just don't see nothing. I'm sorry, if Kenya says something about your ring, how would you feel away? Especially if cameras were up.
Okay, that's a fair point, because you do know that, no, you're right, because on the shows, right, like a regular interaction, you're not going to assume anything, but with the cameras up, you know that there's always going to be a little element, a little tinge of shade between every question and every response. So in this setting, you're right. I'll give you that, Alex. You got me there.
That's the thing, like when you make it a habit of also, this is why I want Kenya to do something else. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not saying get her off TV, make her an actress. Like, it's time to see her evolve, because when all you have to offer is mean, that's what everybody assumes. And then you get stuff like this. It's like, I can't trust you as far as I throw you. I know you saying something slick.
You know what it is? I think I'm still really biased because at BravoCon, she is the absolute sweetest. Like, the absolute, just completely different from what you see on the show. She was lovely. We chatted for a bit. Like, just, she's so sweet. So it's like, maybe I'm holding on to that. Like, no, Kenya's good. Like, that was fine. Like, she didn't mean it that way. You know what I'm saying?
I believe that Kenya exists too, off camera. I believe when you turn that camera on, all she knows is how to give that note, and she gives it, but I'm like, baby, I need you to sing something else.
Yeah. Well, listen, you know what? You got me there, but I do still think that Britt came in gunning for an OG because Britt has that. She reminds me a lot of Carly Red. Like, she wants that screen time. Am I off base? She reminds me a lot of Carly Red from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
That just hurt. Oh, God. The thought of having to deal with two Carly Reds, the thought that there could be two Carly Reds on this planet, that's a lot to deal with at 11:13 a.m. Oh, my God. The thing is, you're correct. Mm-hmm. I can see the neediness. And, oh, God, look at what she's with. That's a Carly Red husband.
Yeah.
What do you think about him?
I don't see any connection. I'm going to leave it there. I don't see any connection. I don't see any chemistry between them. I'm going to just leave it right there. I'm going to leave it right there, Alex. I'm going to leave it right there.
You know, I'll say, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, I don't see it either.
Yep.
And now I will say it might be camera shy because I also saw in the pictures he wasn't looking at her, and he just might be one of those people that's like loves you but doesn't look at you. I know a couple of those, so it could be that where it's like there's a reason they didn't bring you on this show, and it's just because your husband doesn't read well. So maybe it's that. But when he said allegedly to the pregnancy and sounded like me while saying it, I just said, "Oh,
Alex, please."
Sounded just like me saying the allegedly, just like me. Just like me. Me, of all people.
Well, I think, okay, so Britt, I'm going to say this. I'm going to give her another few episodes to maybe win me over, but I don't know. Because between this mess with her and Kenya, then we find out that her and Kelly are on the outs now, and her and Shamea are no longer friends. And the word on the street is that Britt spoke ill about Shamea's youngest baby, Shiloh, with the health problems.
What the hell? What did she do? What the hell can a baby with health issues? I'm laughing because it's so ridiculous.
No, I know. It's crazy.
And you know that baby.
Like, so, and Shamea just did. She's on her press run. She was with Page Six earlier this morning. I was watching her video with them, and she was like, "Yeah, I wish that Britt was never casted on the show. I wish that she wasn't even offered a peach." Like, the hate is really real between them. So now I'm curious to see how it's going to play out later on this season, and then at the reunion. So I'm wondering, are we going to see their fallout play out during the season, or do they fall out off camera? What do you think?
I hope they fall out on camera. I want to see the friendship develop. That's why we watch. We watch for the outfits and for the arguments. I want to see some conflict. I want to have some criticism. And speaking of criticism, how do you feel about how long it took for them to come back? Do you think that has hurt by people just kind of moved on? Because this has been the lowest premiere. And then the second episode was the lowest rated of the series.
I think that they were gone for 18 months. I think they were gone for 526 days. I saw a recent interview that Cynthia did, and the host he had the tally marks, and he was like, "Yeah, you guys have been gone for 526 days." So pretty much it was a year and a half.
That's damn near 2 years.
Damn near 2 years. I feel like
that's too long.
No, it's too long. It hurt them. The whole mess with the Kenya and Britt that came out, this past summer, that hurt them. We wanted to see that immediately, and then they waited. They dragged it out. We should have gotten Atlanta in November with Potomac. We should not have waited until the spring to get them.
I completely agree. I think them saying they took their time was not allotted to you to solve this problem. You had to solve the problem within the time constraints given. Now, just because, here's the thing, you said this is when networks realize, oh, I forgot who the fuck I worked for.
Yes.
Work for us.
Yes.
And don't ever forget it. And you lose enough, girl, bye. Ask Dubai. Dubai, when you pulled that shit with Dubai.
Yep.
Brought that back 2 years later, and how did that work? We weren't interested. You were barely doing it to begin with. We was giving you a chance, giving you a little more than you deserved. We was giving you some pity watches and some pity commercial clicks and views. Please, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
We were doing you a favor, and then you wanted to overstep your boundaries. People will find something else. This is not just event television, it's habit television.
Very
and
true.
We love to have the habit of something to talk, something to watch, and then talk to our friends about. And have our little kiki and enjoy our social media fun.
It's true that this 2-year hiatus really hurt them. And then with the constant cast rumblings, we constantly heard, okay, Sheree's not coming back. This one's not coming back. Well, they're coming back. They have 3 girls and now they have 4 girls. And I'm like, you cannot take time off like that on TV, especially not in the reality space. You can't. Like you said, it hurt them. They should have been out last spring in 2024.
Yeah. Y'all should be filming next season. Y'all should be filming season 17 right now. Honestly, getting geared up so you can wrap up in the summer so we can have your ass on in November.
Yep. Yeah, when BravoCon, I think that with them also not having BravoCon last year, that also hurt them because there was just no exposure for Atlanta. But yeah, I think that ultimately they need to really come through with the storylines because if not, this season is not going to do that well. But I have hope. I think that Kelly is going to bring us something with this whole divorce storyline with that ex-husband.
She sure brought us a lot of face.
Alex, we got to work with what we've got. We have.
I like Kelly. I think Kelly is a beautiful one. Everybody, I know Kelly's gone. I know she's getting it from every angle right now, as she did for her doctor. But and the thing is, I'm not anti-plastic surgery. Nobody is. Everybody's like, we get it. HGTV is a bitch. Have your work done. It's just 1, get good work, and 2, less is more. Oh my God. Like, y'all, and it's like there is this very exaggerated sex work-esque look that some of them take it to. And it's like, honey, you need to come down 5 cc's. You ain't on the corner. You ain't on the pole. You don't need to do your face for the back wall. You're not a drag queen. They get them drag queen lip, and it's like, are you performing? Now, if you're performing and that's your zhuzh, by all means, do what you do. Get your Betty Page on. But most of you are not going for that look, that severe look, and it's like, oh. And that's going to sit like that for 6 months, just looking swollen. And
it's funny because I feel like Britt, Kelly, and Angela Oakley all look the same. And you see that argument. Yes, you see the argument that Shamea and Angela get into in this next episode. And Shamea says, "You and that 99 knows." And now Angela says, "And that's why you look like Flavor Flav." What do you think about that? Like, do you think that Angela's out of line to say that about Shamea?
I like to sometimes you know what? Because the real question is Angela Oakley dark enough to get away with saying that?
Mm-hmm.
And I think she might be over the paper bag test enough to where people are like, no, we'll allow it. That's one of those moments where, do we step in or do we let the aunties battle it out?
I'm going to wait for the episode to drop before, because like I know people are already in my comments like it kind of is giving colorist. I don't like that. So I'm like, let's just watch the whole argument play out, because Atlanta has never been associated with colorism, in my opinion. I never got those vibes.
Me,
Potomac, a different story. But Atlanta, I feel like let's just play it out before we make snap judgments, and let's just watch how everything unfolds before we get to that.
because some of her outfits, I could see maybe a Flavor Flav comment coming from that.
I think she's referring to the outfits, and I think it's that. I think it's like the outfits are dated. Like that's when I saw the clip of Angela saying that, I was like, oh, it's probably her dated fashions. I didn't think that she was saying that like, looks wise.
Yeah.
Shamea's a beautiful woman, so you cannot even say that she looks like Flavor Flav or somebody unattractive. Like she's a beautiful woman. So the face card is there. So I think that it's more so her style and the fashion's not hitting versus her looks.
I could see that. I could see the dressing like Flavor Flav. I mean, her jewelry alone is very out of place. It looks like it's like a girl playing in her mom's jewelry. It's not. She doesn't wear it with the flair of her own style. And they're all like, it's a lot of like Chanel jewelry and Vuitton. That's like, I'm like looking at that and I'm like, girl, you got real money. Like you ain't got like, I know that shit's expensive too. Yes. But you give me like, Shamea gives me, I don't really wear jewelry. She just gives, I get that vibe from her that she's not a real jewelry person. Yes. And also my mother is a jewelry person. So I grew up with the jewelry lady. So I know all about the good golds, the mediocre gold. She had gold fingernails. So I'm familiar. And so when I see a woman that's like, okay, you got good money and no gold, it just ain't your thing. That just ain't your thing. Yeah. So I feel like she's putting that on for the show.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think that, yes, you can tell that Shamea, it's because I'm like, Shamea, you have the coin. You can go to any Neiman Marcus, any Saks, go to Phipps, go to Lenox, and they will hook you up with a personal stylist. You pay them, they will have your outfits laid out for you for months on end. You could look so good, like a tailor. You know, she just needs to go see a tailor, get up to date with the fashion, and she'll be perfect.
She's got fabric money where it's like, oh, you have so much money. You're past designers. You're about fabric and color. And oh, this was specifically made for me for this event. It's a one of a kind. You got that kind of money to really play in fashion. So seeing all that, like Chanel, it was very Marlo Hampton.
Yes. Marlo Hampton in 2008 when she first stepped on the show as a friend of. But yeah, I hope that, I'm thinking I'm going to give Angela a chance. I think that with Angela, it's a matter of style and it's not looks. So I'm going to give her that pass. But we'll have to see. We'll have to watch it play out on Sunday. I'm optimistic for the new girls. I think that they're going to give us something. You know, they're trying. You've always said it's good for a new girl to have some fire under her belly. We don't want boring newbies. So I think that, I know a lot of the critiques are they're doing too much, but I think that you'd rather them do a bit too much than do nothing at all.
That's true. We don't need 3 Stacys.
Yes, we don't. We don't. So, but I want to say, just hopping off of Atlanta, we are at the tail end of Beverly Hills. Next week is their finale. What have been your thoughts so far about the season? Have you enjoyed it? Have you been kind of bored by it? Are you in the middle?
I have enjoyed it. I feel like the season is a bit calmer because the 2 girls are actually going through real divorces. And that's sad and interesting. I'm glad that Garcelle is the only one doing the heavy lifting, bringing up the fact that you left your husband first for a woman and cheated publicly out in front of everybody. What are you expecting him to do? Like, you can't villainize him. And then also, I love that Garcelle brought up on this episode, we can't talk about Morgan, but we're supposed to talk about Mo. AKA, we're supposed to villainize him for cheating when you have a whole girlfriend. You ain't got an empty nest. You got a love nest. And then Mauricio is treating you. Girl, if I had a man treat me like that in a divorce, we'd stay married. He ain't causing you no problems. He ain't bad-mouthing you in the press. He ain't kicking you out your house. He ain't getting you put out the country. Quit while you're ahead.
When it comes to Garcelle asking what we all want to know, I am here for it. Because Garcelle made several great points that it's not fair that we cannot ask you about a pivotal moment in your life that we all saw play out last year, and now you want to be tight-lipped. That's not right. You guys are getting paid high 6 figures. Kyle gets paid 7 figures, and you're supposed to show your life, and she's not doing that. If that were on any other city, they would be fired because Bravo has an issue with them not showing us their life. Also, for Kyle to be like, it's not fair, I don't want her name being said, which we know is Morgan's name. Well, let's talk about how you tried to out Denise Richards that season. When Denise Richards, you ran her off the show. You didn't care about her and her feelings and her family and her marriage. So now we have to care about yours? And she was in our face with her and Morgan all last year. We can't act like that did not happen.
Exactly. If you want privacy, things have to be done in private.
Yep.
Ain't nobody peeping over your privacy hedge to see what's going on in your lady pond. But when you bring the shit out on the street in the middle of the neighborhood and have cameras and drones film it, and put it out for profit and consumption, then it's going to be spoken about in an open forum.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that it's unfair. And I think that this really needs to be Kyle's last season. Did you hear the reports that came out a few weeks ago? They filmed the reunion a month ago. And they're saying that Kyle walked off the set twice because she is confronted by Garcelle and several of the other women about her relationship with Morgan and how Mauricio was cheating the whole time. And she actually knew all the women that he cheated with, but she kept it quiet to save face.
I mean, I don't even know. If Mauricio was able to find that many women to keep their mouths shut, for real, that I don't know if I could believe. Because I'm sorry. You bet you hunching on Mauricio and you're not gonna run and tell the block. Now all those women kept it quiet.
He has the money. He has the money, Alex. And think about it. She probably said, listen, keep your mouth shut. Some of her paycheck might be going to keep them quiet too. But I mean, he's worth $125 million. He has the funds to pay some rent for up to a year, buy some cars, buy some bags, pay that American Express off, go to Neiman's, go to Saks on my dime. He has the funds to keep them quiet. He has the funds.
But a lot of men have funds to keep them quiet, and still news gets out. So I think that they had an arrangement. Like most long-term marriages, I think they had, don't embarrass me clause. He didn't embarrass her. She embarrassed him. Because we didn't know, like, there were always whisperings, but when a man looks like that, there's always going to be some whisperings. I feel like there would be rumors about from other women about her, just from other women trying to piss her off because Kyle pretty. I can see that too, where somebody would say, "Ooh, I slept with you," and they never seen that man naked, but just to try to piss her off. But I will say the fact that there's never been any woman or man that has come forward, the fact that all it is a whispered rumor that has no accuser, I don't believe it. I think whatever they had worked. And then for whatever reason it didn't. I don't know if she didn't like one of the women that he was sleeping with. Some people say maybe it was Dorit. I don't know.
No,
I don't know because Mauricio don't seem that messy. Because why would he get messy after all these years when you've been cheating quietly?
No, and I think with Kyle, what really pisses me off is the fact that if this were somebody else, she'd be all over them. Evidenced with Denise. I think that it's just not right where you want us to have sympathy for the crumbling, the dissolution of your marriage, but yet you don't want to reveal any details. I'm not saying that you owe us every single detail. We don't need all that. You still do need to have something for yourself. I'm all for keeping some stuff close to the vest. But my thing is for you to be on a reality show and you're not telling us what transpired to make you want to leave. That's where I take issue.
Kyle, you publicly cheated first. And honestly, maybe you privately cheated and he caught your ass and is saving face and is like, I'm just not going to put you out there. But you broke our agreement. Maybe she had somebody in the house or whatnot. Because Eddie said in his divorce from Teddy that he thought she was cheating with Kyle.
Oh, he said that?
He said that in their divorce in the filing.
Oh, well, I had read that her affair was due to him cheating on her first with somebody in their friend group, allegedly.
I didn't hear about that one. I knew he had cheated, but I didn't know who it was with.
Yep.
And I knew she was cheating with the horse trainer, but he thought she was cheating with Kyle, which makes sense because they looked very chubby.
Yeah, and there's always been rumblings about them too. Remember when they formed the Fox Force 5 in Provence, and they I think it was Dorit and Erica put that out there that they felt like Kyle and Teddy had something going on because they were sharing a room, sharing a bed together, and they just seemed like super close. So there's always been that rumbling of Kyle and Teddy having something going on.
Yep.
But what do you think about Bose? I'm loving Bose. I think she's been a great
addition. I am loving Bose. And I was going through some of my old Pop Roast clips, and Chris and I were talking about Garcelle after her first season, and we said, and it's on tape, it's on an old Pop Roast episode, we love you, we rode for you, we gave you, that sister girl chance, we're going to need you to come with a plot line next season. We know this was your first, so we're going to let it go. Baby, it's been 5 years, and you have yet to show up with your own plot line. If it wasn't for Diana Jenkins coming after you and your kids with them bots, you really wouldn't have had nothing to talk about all these years. I'm happy that you're Sutton's sounding board, but you hopped on her so you could keep your own business out the street.
Oh, Alex, you don't think that she's had a storyline? But even when they were coming against her in season 11, remember that? When Lisa Rinna and them, they all came against her. You don't think that was a storyline?
That was newbie hazing at best. Because that's what they do to all the women that are new. So I can't say that's any different. All the new girls have a little moment of, okay, am I going to, get into this group? And we see it on the white shows too.
No, we've
seen it with Bronwyn. We've seen it with Brittany. Like all of that. There's always a moment where they kind of claw the new girl for a minute.
I feel like the only new girl they never tried was Erica Jane.
Because Erica was sober her first 2 seasons.
Yes, but also she came in with that Ice Queen persona, like, don't F with me. I feel like she kind of sent those feelers out, like, look, you don't want it with me. Like, don't even come over here with that. So, like, let me rock. You don't want this. So I feel like she's like the only one who came on with it very smoothly.
Yeah, I will say that Erica was very prepared, but I also feel like she was able to keep control because she wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's all that stuff with Tom.
True. I think that when you drink, you're able to, you're going to take the bait. I think that because she didn't drink, she's like, I'm not taking that bait. Are you kidding me?
I think Dorit had a hard time when she joined the show at first. Because she was going with like everybody her first season. Her and Erica got into it. Her and Lisa Rinna. Rinna said to her, that's why folks are in your bathroom doing they're skiing in your bathroom. And she was like, oh my God, like I would never, like what? So Dorit had a really rough go her first season, I felt.
Dorit is annoying. That's why I think it was also a rougher go for her. Erica's an old school gold digger. She know how to go with the flow. She know how to sit there, be pretty, and be good company. That's never really been Dorit's judge. She
that's a good point. That's a good point. I'm like, I have to think about that. That's true.
Dorit versus Sutton. What I see, and I'm not a woman, but what I see is Sutton is insecure because Sutton has Sutton's face. And she wants the approval of the pretty girls like Kyle and Dorit. And because she's not a pretty girl, she doesn't necessarily get it, but she doesn't know how to be cool and get it. She tries to be awkward or use her money to get it. Like with this whole, wallet line. And it's like, girl, if you want to talk wallet, Dorit can walk into any hotel bar and find somebody just as rich or richer than her husband and start dating again. We know you can. With all the plastic surgery in the world, we know you can. I think that's what it is. I think it has something to do with how women deal with beauty and that hierarchy. It's just giving me that tea.
Alex, I saw your recap when that whole episode dropped about the wallet line, and you said this exact thing. I'm going to say this. No. Sutton lacks a coolness factor. And even though Dorit can be annoying, there is a coolness to her. Erica, there's a coolness to her. Kyle, there's a coolness to her. Even despite with Kyle being she cries a lot, all this stuff, there is a coolness factor. If we're being really honest, that's the reason why Kyle will never see it for her, and she doesn't want her in her friend group. She doesn't think that is cool. She looks at Sutton as like a grandma, awkward,
And that's what she gives. That is what Sutton gives. Oh my God, that breakdown at the strip joint.
Yes.
It's like right when you have a chance to fit in with the cool girls and maybe be cool grandma, you blow it.
It's stuff like that. I mean, that meltdown was completely out of left field. I mean, and then what she wore to the strip club, they're all in these sexy, latex. They all look good. And she's in some like cat sweater with white pants. Like she's taking a stroll on, in Nantucket or somewhere. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Evening beach walk.
Yes.
In her resort wear. Oh, yeah. Like she is the one that actually will go and wear St. John's knit and wear it at the resort.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with it. That's high end. Yes. That's high money on it. But it's not cool like the other girls.
Yes, it's very much, she's in like Lily Pulitzer in Boca, right? She's Lily Pulitzer in Boca. You eat dinner at 5 p.m. with you're playing bridge with the other women by 6 p.m. and then you're in bed tucked in at 8, and then you do it all again the next day. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's different, but you forget that she's the same age as Kyle. She's actually younger than Kyle. You forget about that.
What? Oh my!
Kyle's 56 and Sutton's 53.
It's a different kind of 56.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you right now, I want to be Kyle Richards 56.
Kyle looks good.
And for a white woman at 56, she looks spectacular.
Yes, she does. She does. So I said this in my last recap. I said, when it comes to Sutton, there's a lack of coolness. There's no like sex appeal, and they're all trying to not say it, but they're saying with their actions that's why they don't want her in the group. Erica has so much disdain for Sutton because when you read between the lines of the shade that she throws, remember they were in Vegas last year, and it was right after the whole Magic Mike meltdown, and then they were riding the bull, and Sutton gets on the bull, and Erica's like, damn, she can't even ride a bull right. Like, I know she can't ride. The shade from Erica is always like a reminder, like, baby, we're the same age, but we're not the same age. Like, look, like
Mm.
it's you know, in what you said, it's not proper conversation in public, but what you said is what they're thinking. And we can't act like people are not still in high school when it comes to like people still act very high school, even at bigger ages. So I'm like, that's if we want to get to the nitty-gritty, that's the reason why they do not accept Sutton. They don't think that she's cool.
Yeah.
They don't think that
Yeah,
she's
it really is that. She doesn't have that coolness factor, and then her behavior makes it worse. Like
yes.
you already don't have the it. But you know, if you try, if you know, like, okay, look, just be in the cut, just be cool, just sit there and don't do anything. But no, she always has to awk it up.
Very much so. And then in this, and you know what it is, in this last episode, when they were fighting on the boat, when it was between her, Erica, and then her and Dorit, I was like, Sutton, these women live to get you worked up. Stop giving them a reaction. I feel like that's Sutton's biggest problem on the show. Don't let them get a rise out of you. They know that she's an easy target and she falls right into their trap, I feel. Like on the boat, did you feel like she handled that the wrong way? Or did you feel like, would you have done the same thing or would you have just walked away?
It's hard to walk away on a boat. That's why they get it. Oh. You can't put walk away and boat in the same sentence.
You're right.
And now it's like, oh, that's how they got your ass. It was a boat and they were going to need you. That's why they love boat situations. So you know what? I'll say, I'm not going to talk about this with you on a boat because we ain't going to get my pressure up. But no, I agree with you that like with Dorit and the drinking, I would say, you know what? I'm just going to get embarrassingly drunk in front of Dorit every time so that she stops. Like, I'll just make sure every time I'll just get drunk and spill something on you. So you shut up. Once you stop bringing something, once you stop bringing up my drinking, I'll stop spilling stuff on you.
I like that. Yeah, but I think that if Sutton would just maybe pay them dust and be a bit more aloof, she could win. Now, when it comes to Garcelle, what did you think about Sutton not having Garcelle's back?
I'm glad that Garcelle brought it up so that maybe Sutton can fix it. Because Sutton's that kind of friend where you got to, I feel like as long as you remind her, she will be a good friend. So I feel like that's just normal friendship maintenance. But it's like Sutton, Garcelle has your back. She got your back, she got your front, and she got your side half the time. So you need to be looking out for her because, baby, you mess that relationship up, you off the show.
Yes. She won't have anybody to film with.
And it is interesting how Garcelle and Sutton, like, I would say Garcelle isn't in with the girls, not because she's black, not because she's not cool, because she is at work. And there is that level of black. This is a black woman at work.
Yep.
And it's like, it's something that only we will understand. It's like, no, that's a black woman at work. That's a black woman at work. She's giving just enough. But I also have to say now, I support you as a black woman, but I will call you out. If I have to pick up the phone, I will dial direct. I need a storyline. Bose, you're getting in everybody's mess good. You get your first, you're on your 90 days and you're doing good in your 90 days. But I am 42 going on 43. And now I'm going to start saying something for the 40 people that are in my age group, in my decade. I'm now in it enough to speak. We ain't doing this I want a baby anymore. I don't want to hear, babe, stop it now. Stop the lie. If we want a child, we either are at IVF in the stirrups, doing it as we speak, or it's already been done. It is not, ooh, I still want it. No, you like to, with the way that feels in your mouth. Dr. G, I'm talking to you. And Bose, you are a true corporate genius. But now you're going to say at 47, you want to have a from scratch baby that you want to care. Stop lying. You ain't gotta lie to kick it. You ain't gotta lie to kick it. It has been too many couples have done it for a storyline at this point. Where it is like, no, I'm sorry, I'm in my 40s. You either are in the stirrups or it's just lip service. I can't do the lip service anymore. You gonna have that woman come to your house. She came over for tea. That's why you didn't have nothing in the hospital. That's why you weren't at the doctor's office, because you didn't want to run the risk of getting pregnant. You didn't want to accidentally get poked with an embryo.
No, I think that she's serious though. Because on Instagram, she's posting that they're really doing this. So I have many thoughts about that.
If they're the first ones to now, if you actually go through, then I'm interested in the journey. But how many times have we had these people, and men too, these men, and also I'm talking about the men that want their wife to have the third kid when everybody already in their foot. Stop that lying. You do not want that baby.
We will be here all day if I mean, that storyline is like blowing me all the way out. I'm like, Bose, please. Do you even know this man well enough? What are his financials? Is he making money? What does he do for a living? You haven't said I love you yet. He's telling you, well, I can't promise you that I won't waste your time. What? You want to get married first. You want to have the baby in wedlock. You said that out of your own mouth 5 episodes ago. So why are we talking about baby first before marriage? Like, it's just not adding up. He's 49, never been engaged, never been married at least once. I'm just kind of like, Bose, don't put all your eggs in the Chileeeee basket. I think that she needs to move on from this.
And he's 50 and ain't had no kids.
And he wants her to have 3 at 48.
You don't want kids. No, I can't. Like, I really, like, there are some women that do want kids, and a couple of men that do want kids after 40 that just life got in the way. That occasionally does happen. But on reality TV, we just seen too many times. It's not true. The baby eventually disappears and falls by the way. It's like, what happened? I thought you wanted a kid. We have watched Greg and Quad talk about wanting kids for 11 motherfucking years, and I can't anymore. I can't watch anybody talk about wanting kids in 11 years and ain't no child appeared. For neither one of them. You just like the way the words sound in your mouth. You just like to say it. It's just something you can bring up, and it's something to talk about other than the damn weather.
Oh, Alex, we are right here because.
Thank you. I just like, and I don't ever want to seem like, ooh, I'm making fun of people that want kids after. No. If it's true, then that's an awesome story to tell, and we are here to listen. If it's true, but too often it is just something that you can have for a plot line for a season or two, shoot in an empty doctor's office and lie. And I just can't with these lies anymore. And especially people over 40, if you wanted a kid, you would have had them by now. Especially people on these shows with money. Sorry, at 42, I can't deal with the few extra pounds I have on. At 42, the thought of gaining extra weight and being pregnant, oh, hell no. Ain't nobody got time for that.
With Bose and Garcelle, so far, we haven't really seen that many interactions with them. We did see Garcelle come to Bose's house after her fibroid surgery. We've seen a few interactions here and there. Garcelle did tell her, oh, stop being Dorit's spokesperson at the 4th of July party. And now we're hearing at this reunion that Bose and Garcelle got into it. Do you believe this? What do you think about them going at it if it is true? And what do you think they were going at it about in the first place?
I could see them getting into it defending their friends. I could see Bose having a little bit of the I'm better than an actress type of feel because I'm a corporate girl. Like, how the Married to Medicine women treat the wives like, oh, you're just. I could see maybe a little of that.
Okay.
Could come through, but I also feel like two spirited Black women having a back and forth can easily get misconstrued. So I want to see it. I want to see, because I'm like, they didn't have anything all season to really tear into each other about. So it don't really, I don't see what it would be about, but I guess we'll find out.
I guess we'll find out. And listen, like you said, I want to see it in person. I'm going to hold off on commenting about if they got into it, because it's like you said, two Black women, two fiery personalities. It could have easily been just, a little, tete-a-tete, but nothing serious, nothing crazy. So we'll see. But I won't be surprised if it is about their friends Sutton and Dorit, because they're both each other's besties.
Like when Mary J. Blige said to Toni Braxton, you know what? You're beneath me. And Toni said, and you're beneath the appropriate note whenever you sing. I guess that makes us even. It makes you flat, but I guess it makes us even.
I'm screaming.
So it could have been something like that, just
some light shade, I guess.
Light shade.
Now, I want to move away from Beverly Hills, and I do want to get your thoughts about Potomac. We know that we've heard the rumors about Potomac being on pause with the filming because of Karen being in jail. Do we believe this? Wendy said that it was a lie, but nobody has confirmed whether it's a lie or not. So what do you think?
I think it could be a sprinkle of Karen in jail. I think they're not, they're realizing, okay, housewives need zhuzh. We got, really what they need to go on and do. Housewives new, Housewives legacy. Just go on, and it's going to be hard, and they're going to have to do something they don't want to do. Spend money on marketing to actually get us interested in some new women, and spend some money paying new women. You can't make shit for free anymore. People like Carlos King, I'm talking directly to your sorry ass. Nobody is buying this. Oh, well, we don't know if people are going to watch. We know now that the show is going to make money. You're going to put it on 8 different platforms. It's a worldwide thing. We now know you can't get away with paying people pennies for their first season. You got to walk in with life-changing money because you're changing people's lives whether you like it or not. There's a lot of jobs they're not going to be able to get after they've been on a reality show because they're a distraction.
Very true. I think for Potomac, if they are going to put the show on pause temporarily, there needs to be a sit-down conversation about this cast. We can't have Mia. Let's be clear about that. Mia cannot come back.
High five.
Okay?
High five on that.
Right? I think this lie.
Mia, take your acting troupe. Take your acting troupe to YouTube and do family vlogging.
Ooh,
and let the kids be in on it. And let that, there's a way to do it healthy. That we'd be interested in. There's a healthy way. What you did was not healthy. And it's when kids are involved, it's just, I don't want to watch. It's just gross. It's just gross. Also, Gizelle, thank you for your services. But because of who you are and what you represent, you're scaring away other women that would like to share their stories because they don't want to deal with the pain in the ass like you. And you really be like having a 9-inch nail in your tuchus. Just every time you move, it's just tearing at you, bleeding into the muscle. No, you're like Gizelle, you've served your purpose. I feel like with Kenya, all you have to offer is mean. Like this season, you tried to, be nice, and we saw it took everything out of you to be nice to Stacey. And I'm just tired of it. Stacey ain't done nothing to you. You want to be mad? Be mad at your ex-husband. That's who ruined the best years of your life. Be mad at him.
But we have to be realistic, though. They consider Karen and Gizelle as the faces of Potomac. So since Karen's in jail, and if they continue filming without her, they're not going to fire Gizelle. Like they're not, Alex, we know that they're not firing her anytime soon.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I could see them wanting to move because Giselle's. This is what, their 11th season or their
10th.
ninth, 10th.
Oh, ninth, going into the 10th.
Okay, we done had her for 10 years. That salary's starting to get top heavy, and she ain't bringing it. I could see her being put out to pasture. I could see, because really, it's like they got rid of Robin. So now, it's like the salary's getting top heavy. And what else does she have to offer them? Kids is gone. You ain't got a love life, or we don't care about it anymore. I could see them wanting a new face for Potomac and maybe bringing Candiace back.
Yes. Did you see her interview with Entertainment Tonight? Yes.
And I want Gizelle to go. And I think bringing Candiace back, because then it's like, Karen, I don't think they can. They should. I don't think they should bring back. Because, again, it's going to end up like that damn, that show where the girl ended up getting murdered and then none of the production company shows came out. That's what happened to I Love New York.
Huh? What happened?
Okay, so remember I Love New York, her shows were everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, their production company was doing another TV show called For the Love of Money. And on it, they casted this guy who ended up being a murderer and killed one of the other contestants. Because of all of that controversy, all of the I think it was called 51 Minds production, every show they had got pulled. Oh. It completely, so that's why I'm like, please get rid of Karen, because she will end up tanking the entire production company, tanking all the housewives. Stuff like that can change public opinion. If she had hit somebody and hurt somebody,
I know
it's too much.
No, it is too much, but I do think that Bravo's gonna want her story when she comes out of jail. I see her wanting to come back to tell her story and get that money.
When is Bravo going to draw a line and say this is too much?
They're not.
Oh, God.
They're not. They're not.
You're probably right.
And she has a big fan base. People want to hear that story. They want to hear her say, I was wrong. I was going through this for all these years. I mean, the salary, the money that they will offer her for her to just take ownership and come back contrite and sincere and apologetic and remorseful, that bag is going to be so good that you can't refuse it. And Karen loves $1.
I mean, you're correct. You're absolutely correct. I cannot. There's a level of, I just give her a couple of years. I want her to be okay, and I want everybody else to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But Potomac, Potomac having a pause, I think we're seeing pauses ain't helpful. You don't need a pause. You don't need a pause. We aren't going to get Candiace filming and get rid of Gizelle. We don't need a pause.
Well, did you see in her interview when they asked her, Bryce Sanders asked her, so are you going to come back, for season 10? There's rumblings. And she was really coy about it. And he said to her, are you willing to, talk and with the women? And she said, oh yeah, of course. If the coin is right. And then he says, are you willing to reconcile and talk to Gizelle? And she's like, well, I didn't say all that, but never say never. The fact that Candiace is saying never say never, Alex, I'm calling it right now. Candiace will be coming back. I think so. I can see it happening. She comes back season 10. Gizelle is still there. They force them both to sit down, have a conversation the way Gizelle and Wendy did this past season. And then they're going to have the sit down of the century. I think so, Alex. I'm
not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just wondering how much money you would have to offer me and my husband to be around somebody that said he made her feel uncomfortable. I'm just wondering what dollar amount would that be, because that's got to be some high money.
Yeah.
Because that's some pretty unforgivable shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Candiace is, I'm honestly a little sad. I wanted her to say, not if Giselle's there. Like, have some standards.
No.
Have some damn standard. Come on, she talked about your husband.
I know. I agree.
I mean, the rent is real. The rent is real, so I can't act like I don't have a number. But it would be high if you're gonna come for my man.
Yes, I think she would probably ask for $750. She might ask if she was getting $500,000 before or $450 before. She'd probably come back and ask for $750, $800,000.
I would say 3.5. I want burst money. And I know what you're making off of Hey You.
I mean, you're right. You're right. I think she would probably ask for maybe $750 to $1 million to come back.
Now here's the real episode of Housewives we need to have.
Okay.
Get Sutton and her forensic accountants to find out how much they're actually making off Housewives and what the girls should be getting. That's what I want to see. Because them heifers is making y'all some real money.
Yes. I wanted to quickly ask you about Mia. Did you see her podcast episode with her back again boyfriend, Ink? Did you see what she said about Gizelle? She said that at the reunion, she walked off the set because she was about to beat the brakes off of Gizelle. Now, I don't believe one word of this.
Why were you going to beat Gizelle up for telling the truth? Gizelle wasn't the one that lied on your children's paternity. Baby, that was you and nobody but.
Thank you.
Gizelle wasn't the one that lied about taking pregnancy tests while she was on in vitro fertilization. That was you and nobody but. Gizelle, for once, Gizelle is innocent. I can't believe I got to sit here and sing Gizelle's praises. That's motherfucking pathetic. You got me on Gizelle's side. You know you wrong. Oh, hell no.
But yeah, I just feel like Mia is delusional. How dare you be mad at anybody and threaten them with bodily harm when you brought this to the forefront? Nobody told you to give us this storyline. This was a disgrace.
At all. Nobody asked for this at all. Take that shit to Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah, take it to Love and Hip Hop. But yeah, I mean, do you think that Mia's coming back? I don't think she's coming back because she lied about the whole stuff, this whole mess. The fans want her off. She's been horrible since she stepped on the show. And then now we see that it was all fake about her and Ink breaking up. They're back together. I don't see her back.
I want to pray that she doesn't come back. I really want to pray that she doesn't come back. I am tired, exhausted. However, Bravo likes to beat a dead horse, and they also like to embarrass. Because remember, that first season when Rob lied, they brought her ass back to put her through the machine, and they had her ass crying on the curb. So I could see them bringing her back for one more season to really embarrass that ass. And I would be cool with not seeing her again, but I could also be cool with the ladies just calling her a liar every chance that they get and just really, getting her off the show that way. Because they'll do that. They will give you a season where it's just, no, we're just going to embarrass you. That's all we have to do. We're going to get paid well to do it. So sit down. We're going to embarrass you. There's some secret shit that we told the other ladies that we didn't know that you didn't know we found out about. We found out. We're going to tell you business.
True. And you see that she wants to come back she wants to go on Atlanta now. She says that she'd rather be on Atlanta than Potomac. So maybe that's her way of letting us know that they've already fired her and she's now trying to cross over to the ATL. But I don't want to see her on Atlanta either.
Really, I don't want to see her on you or your acting troupe. I don't want to see them anywhere else. I'm tired of you. I've lost goodwill. And you weren't that interesting before you were a liar.
No.
Your truth wasn't that damn interesting.
It wasn't. It wasn't. Mia, is too thirsty. Mia is too desperate, and desperation and being on the Housewives shows just don't work, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
Desperation is not mixed. We don't want to see it. I want to get your closing thoughts. Potomac season 10 predictions. Do you think that they're going to keep filming or resume filming, or just leave or wait until Karen is out of the jailhouse?
I think it would be stupid to wait until Karen is out. Because she's no Teresa. And again, and with Teresa, there was this, she was able to blame it on her husband. There was, the doubt that America gives white women. Karen, we knew your ass did this. Like, this is you. So there's a level of, there needs to be punished. There needs to be accountability, responsibility. And I don't want to see, like, you don't deserve to be on a show like this. Like, especially when all we're going to do is watch you drink.
True. Well, Alex, I want to say thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for joining in. Please let all my subscribers know where they can find you at. Please promote any upcoming projects that you have going on. Take it away.
So this weekend we have Pop Roast at 12 p.m. Eastern over on my channel, Alexander Rogers, and just Alexander Rogers, RODGERS on YouTube and Instagram, and the Allegedly Show. That's what I do. Thank you so much for having me. I had a blast.
Thank you so much for coming on. This has been a long time overdue collaboration, because I've come on your channel several times. We always have a good old time. So I said, I have to have you over here. And thank you again. I had a ball. I could not stop laughing. Like, Alex, you are hilarious.
Well, thank God, because otherwise I'd be poor.
Well, thank you again, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation, and you already know I will see you all later. Bye, guys.
Bye.